Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Michelle Curve. If you don't know me already, known as Exceptional Michelle at Self Advocate MB online on all social media platforms. And you also know me as the autistic blogger of my own blog website, The World of Autism. I have a returning guest on with me. It's been quite a while since I've had her on, but she's grown so much through our conversations that we've had on Instagram. So I wanted to bring her back on. So I have Louisa with me. How you
Hi.
doing?
Good. How's it going?
Good, good, doing
Good. I'm
well.
so happy to be back.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you are back on for the world of autism, and I'm actually gonna let you take over with sharing updates about what's been happening for you since we've last chatted on here.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean it's been like over a year at least, I think.
Mhm.
And we've the last time we chatted, it was just kind of like I was in like my baby stages of growing my practice. So for people who don't know, I own a private practice in New Jersey, and we mostly work with adults with disabilities. So adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities such as autism, Down syndrome, and lots of others. And we also work with pediatric clients as well. So we are very much so like a neurodivergent affirming practice, and we really pride ourselves in making sure that our treatment reflects that. So the last time I spoke with you, I don't know if I had like that many employees, but now I have on my staff, there's five of us SLPs. I have a program director, an administrative assistant, a biller, and two of our guys that take part in our programs also work at the office as like assistants and like clerks and peer mentors. So it's really cool to be able to grow the team that quickly in only a couple of years. But it's just been like a whirlwind, and just so exciting. Like it's just absolutely amazing to see not just like myself working with individuals, but to be able to supervise and like assist my employees through working with their clients and like learning through like our lens. So yeah, it's been quite a journey, but that's like in a nutshell, the like gist of what's been going on the past couple of years. But then I also started to actually help speech therapists and OTs start their own practices. So I also have that side of things, like with mentoring and stuff. So I mentor people. I offer one-on-one calls. I have a group called The Line that like every first Tuesday of the month we meet up in the evening time and we just hop on and like I try to check in on things that maybe like they're in a hot seat, right? So like they get to ask questions, but I like to check in on like their mental health. Like how are they taking care of themselves? What are some things that they're having a hard time with at work right now? Maybe some of them are starting their own practices and they have questions about that. So like we all get to chat and talk, and that's been really, really nice to have. And build like a community, not just in New Jersey, but like everywhere, which is cool. So there's that. I got engaged, so there's that. Um,
Congratulations!
thanks. So like the personal side of things, that's updating. But yeah, I mean everything's just like happening, man. It just keeps one thing after another, but it's been good.
That's great. Everything really does fall into place for sure. And the fact that like expanding though, that's huge. Like having like other SLPs like in your workplace and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been great. We moved to a bigger location, so now we have three treatment rooms and like a little art room, and then like a center space and a waiting room and a kitchen, which is like really, really cool. So instead of having my like 12 by 12 room originally when I first started, that I was renting from a doctor's office, I now like have our own, like we all have our own spaces and stuff. So it's cool.
That's awesome. And just a little recap for those that don't know about with you and your practice. Can you tell a little bit with that?
Yeah, so like when do you mean like just like in general or like my beginning story?
I would say in general.
Okay, yeah. So my practice is a speech therapy practice. Well, we started as a speech therapy practice. We've now expanded to doing speech therapy. We are doing programming as well. And what I mean by that is we offer programming to specifically, like we started with our adults with disabilities because after high school, there just isn't a lot out there for that population. It's just kind of like a funnel, and I feel like there's already not a lot out there. And then after 21, it's like not really too many resources for them. So we started the practice for that reason, but expanded to working with pediatric populations and also offering groups and programs to the little guys as well, which is so rewarding and beautiful. But our programs for our adults have really taken off just because they don't exist very much in our area. So we do things such as like a monthly, I call them social groups because I think that's what most people will like be like, oh yeah, social group. I know what that is. But I like to like in the back of my head call them connection groups because I don't have anyone that comes into my office for a connection group that is like forced to, I'm like, all right, you're going to sit next to this person and you're going to talk and then he's going to talk and then you're going to talk and then he's going to talk. And, like we're not, I don't do that. I'm like, there's some guys who their version of socializing is sitting like in the corner for 5 minutes and people watching and then taking their time to come into the group. Or maybe they want to stay there and come and get what they want to get and then go back there. And maybe someone will join them if they want. So it's whatever they're comfortable with is what I try to prioritize in those groups. And I'm at the point now in Hazlitt where we aren't allowing anyone else in just because we're at max capacity. So every month with the same people are coming back, which is really awesome. And like everyone has become really close friends, which is cool too. And some of them only see each other there once a month. So when they get to catch up, it's really beautiful to watch and see, and just see the connections happening naturally, which is beautiful. And like, I don't know, I just love it. I love my job. So yeah, so that's like that programming side of it. We have those groups. I also meet with another group at a coffee shop. So it's like a small group. We go out in the community and we get coffee and treats and we chat. And they've all gotten really close too. We do pop-up events, which is also really fun. So it's basically like we talk to our guys and we're like, what do you want us to do? So we actually just went to the farm yesterday. We went to like a Lair community farm
Aw.
down in Wall because they were like, we want to go to the farm. So like, okay, great. We're going to go to the farm. So we do stuff like that. We try to get involved in the community. So we're actually going to a program in where is it? By the water, by the beach. And we're going to be going there, like Whitechapel projects. And it's going to be like a market, but it's like all female owned businesses and
Oh,
we're gonna go
wow.
there. It's so fun, and we're gonna do a
Yeah.
self-love selfie station, and people can make their bookmarks. And then I'm gonna like watercolor portrait because I also do that on the side. It's just like my what's it called? Like my artistic outlet, I guess. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like watercolor portraits and just like have people come and get like a positive experience with our group, and we're gonna have some of our ladies come by, and just like be a part of the community because that's at the end of the day what we really want for our guys. So yeah, I mean, we're doing so much. We're partnering with so many people in the area. I partnered with an OT yesterday to do an in-service for my office. Now we're going to be doing programs together. She might be using our space to provide OT services, so we might expand to that length too. It's just these doors open when they need to. And I think that's been really fun for me.
That definitely sounds a lot of fun for sure. And the fact that like having those collaborations though, what you
Mhm.
were saying about expanding someday to like even just like with other providers like from different fields like OT or like maybe someday you might even think like having a multidisciplinary like practice of
Yeah.
having like ABA OT,
Yeah. It'd be
SLP. I'm like
cool.
that would be awesome.
Yeah. Definitely like the wheels are turning in years to come. But I'm trying to
Yeah.
like take things as they go and not rush things because I am a rusher. And I just try to like I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, let me just and planning a wedding. I'm just like, let me just let things happen.
Yeah.
Whatever comes, comes. So yeah.
Some it's better off to think like that, like just staying present and stuff, and because
Mhm.
then like when you're thinking too much of the future, then it gets like so overwhelming. Like,
100%.
yeah, like just focus. Like, and it's funny because my mom always used to tell me this growing up, like because I would say talk about a lot with the future, and my mom's like, you gotta stay focused on the present.
Yeah, it's so hard to
Yeah,
do though. It's like one of the
yeah,
big things I struggle with. So it is something that 2025 is teaching me. So I'm trying to let it teach me. So there's that.
yeah, absolutely. Oh no, I do want to ask actually, because I know you mentioned about with mentoring now, like other SLPs that are gonna try to do their own practice, like create their own practice. Like,
Mhm.
what inspired you to do that?
Yeah. I mean, I really saw that there aren't a lot of practices like mine out in the world, and I started getting people like messaging me or emailing me and saying like, asking questions about starting their practices and like how they can add programming or how they can get credentialed with like a DDD, like the Department of Developmental Disabilities within their state, and working with this population of individuals with disabilities 21 and over. And I started being like, okay, yeah, like we'll email back and forth. Let's hop on a phone call. And at a certain point, I was like, no, like my time is worth something. Like I am struggling with like time management. So I was like, okay, what if I added this to like the services that I provide? So I now have a way to schedule like if a one-on-one call with people, and I have like that side of me that is the mentorship side, which I personally really love because now it allows me to help people. I help people across the country start or add to their practices, to kind of mimic mine, which is really, really cool because I feel like sometimes I'm flying like, what's the phrase? Like flying off like I don't even think right now. It's been a long day, but I feel like I'm just kind of like winging it. There we go. I'll say that. Um, and people are like, "Oh, you don't look like you're winging it." And I was like, "I don't know. In my head, I feel like I am." But I think that as long as if you have someone that is maybe 10 steps ahead of you and you can learn from them, you take advantage of it. Like I have multiple mentors that I still meet with regularly who are 10 steps ahead of me and they know more than me. And I am never going to be that person in the room that says, I know everything. So I want to be one of those people in someone else's room that can guide them to where they need to be. So, and while also having my own room of people who are guiding me to where I'm going to be. So that's kind of like the inspiration behind it is I just like helping people. I like helping people from the speech therapy side of things. I like helping families and caregivers, advocate and learn about their children and their adults. And I like helping professionals gain skills and learn new things about either working with our population or, starting their own journey in life with a private practice.
Oh, that's awesome. I love
Thanks.
that. I love that. I know, it's definitely growing in regards to, I think in all fields that
Mhm.
about with mentorship is definitely growing with, because I know in my experiences personally, like in my work with the school district,
Yeah.
I still been working with the school district in as a behavior specialist, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I went from like just about a year now, I've been a board certified behavior analyst assistant because I was an RB. I went from being an RB2 to that last year, so
That's great.
it was definitely a change and all. But yeah, going now where we have with mentoring and everything in the school district and stuff. So like we have like now there's also school-based behavior specialists, but I'm
Yes.
also like I'm a district level. So
Okay,
it's
cool.
like I am in the middle of like I have my supervisor who is my mentor
Hmm.
and my colleagues, and they have even though they have like a lot more years of experience, I always would count on them if there's something
Yeah.
like you and I don't know, or like they'll be like I have like about this year I have like three school-based behavior specialists I'm mentoring. So
Cool.
it's really cool. It
That's
is.
awesome. Oh, I love that. And just to
Yeah.
see you grow too has been really great.
Yeah. I know
That's fantastic.
from our last conversations that we had and all, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, like everyone has like some kind of mentor somewhere,
Yeah.
and you need that. Like you're always gonna end up like learning something new.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when you become like your own, like you're the business owner or like you are, let's say like the lead ABA, the lead BCB, like you are like the top of the tier, it's very isolating because you feel alone. Because you think, I know there's other people who are experiencing what I'm experiencing, but how do I, how do I even like get in touch with them? Or maybe I need to ask a question. I don't feel close enough with any of these people. Like, how do I do that? So like, that's why also like I created that Align group because we meet once a month. You come to the table with some questions. You let us know like what you need support with. I send out resources and everything. We have a community online and I'm like, oh, we talked about this book. Like I was actually reading this one book. sitting outside reading it. And I was like,
Huh.
guys, I like this book. Like I put it in there. I was like, if you wanted to get it, go for it. I think it's really helpful for private practice owners, if that's something that you are, or anyone who owns a business in general, So it's like things like that and being able to have people that you could bounce ideas off of, is really, really important and just not something that everyone has access to. So tried to make that happen.
Yeah, and that's important, like, because especially like there are resources out there, so it helps a lot. It definitely helps a lot. So I do want to transition to the last thing. So my last question for you is that where can people follow you online that don't know already?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to follow the Therapy Garden, which is my practice, it's at the Therapy Garden NJ on Instagram and Facebook. And then if you want to follow me as a mentor, it's at Lead with Louisa on Instagram and TikTok.
Awesome, perfect. And for anybody, to make sure that you also follow for more great content like this and other stories as well on my blog website, The World of Autism, which I've been running now that for 5 years, a little over five
Wow.
years now. So it's
Yay.
crazy. Time
That's
flies
amazing.
with
It really, really does.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And also for people, don't forget to follow and subscribe to my professional brand, Exceptional Shell at Self Advocate MB.